welcome back to a very still kind of empty room, not organised whatsoever. In today's video, I thought I would show you some of my favourite philodendrons at the minute, and I will probably go into a little bit of philodendron care and why I probably love them so much. I feel like philodendrons is the range of plants I have the most. I also find them the most easiest to care for. Not everyone's going to agree to that, but I'll get into it. So I thought I'd show off some of the best ones at the minute that are doing amazing from the new move. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about what to do with them. As always, Jamie has her own preference of what philodendron she wants to eat the most, but we're slowly learning to not eat the plants, aren't we, Jam? She does know the words leave it now, as you can imagine. It's usually for attention more than anything. But yeah, we can't have a video without a Jam appearance, can we? I think I'm going to start off strong with my Philodendron Ploumani. I'm just monitoring this one quite closely because a lovely bunch of aphids thought they'll try and eat the new leaf, so I caught it just in time before they could do any real damage to the new leaf. I just absolutely love this plant. Jamie decided to play with this leaf. Still hunting on in there. But I had this one since it was a little baby, and it has grown so much, it's matured so much, it's gone up and down this trough quite a few times now. But yeah, this is one of the crawlers of the philodendron family, let's say, compared to a lot of them are climbers. You can make them climb if you so wish to. This guy has had the best success being in this trough and just growing massive leaves. A little bit of care with this. I honestly leave it to dry out as much as possible. I kind of forget about it, let it dry out, and when it is dried out, I give it a really, really good soak, and then that's kind of it until next time. This is the Philodendron Ploumani. Next philodendron on my list, and I know it doesn't look like much and it doesn't look great right now, but I can't not talk about the Philodendron Majestic. The Philodendron Majestic was on a round moss pole, and the problem with the round moss poles is that they tend to dry out way quicker. Come here. Trying to do this and manage a cat, a kid, well, she's still a kid, at the same time is actually really frustrating. It's really hard, because this is when she wants to try and, she doesn't like eat the plant, she just like nibbles like on the end for my attention, for me to be like, ow, what are you doing? Kind of thing. Yeah, you! Yeah, I'm talking about you! The Philodendron Majestic. This plant is gorgeous. It has this kind of silvery pattern on the leaves. I love it so much. Yeah, it was on a round moss pole, and being the forgetful person I am and the room it was in before, a round moss pole just dries out way quicker than like my D-shaped moss poles. So, well, because it was on there and the moss that was in the round shaped moss pole was just getting older and older, and every time it dried out, it was just getting worse and worse and worse. As a consequence of that, the Philodendron Majestic kind of flopped, and I had to take action. The best thing to do was to chop it up, prop it up, get some new plants growing, and then to re-put it back onto a D-shaped moss pole this time. But we've got some growth coming on here, so you know it won't be long until it's back. They get quite a lot of light in the morning, and then it's kind of just like a bright room during the rest of the day, so they tend to really like that, and they're not directly in the window, they're kind of sat here. As you can see, it's really nicely lit, get the sun that way. This is a Philodendron Majestic. If you don't have one, I highly recommend getting one because they are just so pretty and I love them. Okay, what should the next one be? The next philodendron I am currently obsessing over is my Philodendron verrucosum. It has taken me a few attempts to make a verrucosum happy to live with me. I don't know what has been different, but all of a sudden it's clicked and it's happy. Yeah, my verrucosum is on a moss pole. You can see how it's on the floor right now, so it's about getting nearly as tall as me. It loves this moss pole. I think it's probably essential for a verrucosum to be on a moss pole. I think with how funny they can be. I really don't know what is different that I've done. Maybe with watering the moss pole, when it dries out, is like enough for it and it likes that. It has rooted a lot into this moss pole. The moss pole is not straight. That's one thing I have to do is like actually make my moss poles stand upright on their own, because I just feel like they fall over all the time, and I think it's because I use bamboo sticks, and that's one mission I have to do is redo all the moss poles in the pots to make them actually stand up. Anyway, the majority, I think like literally the rest of my philodendron, all of my philodendrons except the Palmani are on moss poles, which is actually really funny. So it's like moss pole central over here. I usually water it when the moss poles dry out, which is, it's getting that way. I think the verrucosum is definitely one to shout out. I know a few people have struggled with it, but I promise, don't give up. Don't give up, don't give up. Try again, because once you got it, they're so lush and so rewarding. I love it so much. I'm over the moon that I finally can have one that doesn't die on me. Yay! Another one I have to show off is my Philodendron Al Choco Red. I'm trying to get this in frame. Just like, this leaf is so beautiful. It's massive. It's probably one of the biggest leaved plants I have in my collection. Here's my hand for scale. It was an import from Ecogeneria, more or less like 2 years ago, I think. It wasn't on a moss pole until last year, but when it went on a moss pole, this leaf came out. So I think it is just super happy being on a moss pole. It's got another leaf coming. He had a little bit of damage from the move, which is really sad. This leaf was absolutely perfect until I moved. And then, yeah, sadly, it's like just got caught, which is really sad. It is such a gorgeous plant. I love it so much. Oh, it's definitely up there for me. The next one is this wacky last one, which is the Philodendron Mobility. I don't think they necessarily get the love that they should deserve to get, because they're not kind of like your traditional philodendron, like big leaves, whatever. They're here for the elongatedness, and they're like, the leaves are way tougher. They really do look a bit fake. Oh, I love this plant. It's just so interesting. It's such an alien looking plant, and I really want to put it on a moss pole so it doesn't grow weirdly. But so far this one is the closest I am to my Spiritus Sancti. So, you know, one day I'll have its big brother. But I think people should look at this plant a little bit more. It's definitely the interesting one. I really like the orange kind of tint on the edging of the leaves. I don't know if you can see that. So there's some like really nice edging. It's just a really wacky plant, really odd looking. And I really like that. This guy, I admittedly probably let it dry out way more than I probably should. But it seems to be fine. It seems to like it. It's in moderate light again. It's not on a moss pole, but it will be eventually when I get around to it. These leaves can, you know, they can get big, you know, they can get big and long, and that's what I would really, really love. And I think a moss pole would definitely help it do that. So this is kind of like my wild card, my wild child as a philodendron. He's so cool. So those are like 5 of my favourite philos at the minute. I just absolutely love philodendrons. I just think they're the most easiest out of a lot of the plant family, and they vary so drastically between each other. It's amazing, like what kind of types of philos you can get. They're just really cool. Highly recommend, if you haven't got any that I have shown today, go and get yourself one. Go and take it as an excuse to go and get yourself something new. I can't wait to be able to get new species this year. I haven't brought a plant for the longest time, like properly gone and brought plants or done something. So my collection hasn't grown, hasn't really changed. What? What? Do you want to be in it too? Oh, you're my favourite philodendron, aren't you? You're my favourite. Sorry, did I say something else was my favourite? And you heard me and you were like, no, just me. Just me. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you do all that cool stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, me lovers. Say bye. Wee.